Hi, Sai Karate Illuminati, this is Noah, and my friend Michael Wynn, sensei of Karate Breakdown, invited me to do a bit of a collaboration with him. And in the spirit of preparing to start a new year, we were going to touch on the subject of advice we would give to people looking to start their martial arts journeys in 2025. And of course, you can find his response to this prompt on his Karate Breakdown channel on YouTube. Now, for my part, I would say my biggest piece of advice for someone looking to start martial arts training is to find something you're going to actually enjoy doing. Because when it really boils down to it, the success you're going to have with your martial arts training relies on you training consistently. And if you hate going to class, you're not going to do that. And eventually you're probably going to stop training entirely. Of course, there's going to be certain degrees of discomfort and stress involved in martial arts because it is a contact activity. There's going to be things that you've really got to work hard at and push through. But overall, you need to enjoy the training and the way that it's taught. So start off by going to look at the schools in your area, check out the classes, watch some classes, try some free ones, and get a sense for whether or not you would actually enjoy doing that several times a week. And whichever one you're thinking will be the most enjoyable is probably the one you should go with. Don't worry too much about what style, what martial art, what organization any of these schools are part of. The important thing is how you get along with the instructors, how you get along with your classmates, and how you enjoy the material being practiced and the way that it's practiced. The other thing that I wanted to touch on is anxiety, because of course you'll be starting something new and that is going to cause anxiety and stress. But even after getting used to going to classes, it can still give you anxiety to pull into that parking lot, to put on the uniform, and to step out on the mat. I know this is something that I've always struggled with, and there was a time in my life where I could not speak in front of people because of my social anxiety, and martial arts helped me get past that. But even so, I get anxious going to classes even if I'm the one teaching. So it's completely understandable for somebody to have those feelings when it's still new. The important thing is that you push yourself past that edge of discomfort and do it anyway, because you will feel better about yourself and what you're doing once you get in there and start training. It is something that a lot of people deal with and don't want to discuss, so I wanted to mention it here because as someone who's been through it, my advice is, even though it's making you anxious, do it anyway, especially if you've already decided that you are going to enjoy doing this. As I suggested from the start, you should find something you're going to enjoy training in because that's going to make it easier to be consistent. And finally, I would encourage you to take notes on your training. You can do that in the form of a journal that you write in after the fact. You can do it in the form of a notebook that you actually take notes in during classes or immediately after classes. You can draw diagrams and illustrations. You can do mind maps. Anything that's going to help you retain the material that you're learning, because it's a lot to learn, especially at the beginning. You have to learn all the basics and all the fundamentals, and that can be very overwhelming. Writing it down is going to help you remember it. And I know this is something that I did very early on, and I've encouraged my students to do. Have a notebook with you when you go to training so that you can write down anything that you want to remember right away. And if you want to fill out in more detail after the fact, have at it. But the important thing is that you are recording what you're learning and making important points especially memorable. This is something that is going to honestly help you throughout your entire martial arts journey, but especially at the beginning. So, with all that said, I really hope that this advice and the advice from Michael Wynn Sensei gives you a great starting point for jumping into your martial arts journey in 2025. And of course, please check out his channel on YouTube as well as the Karate Breakdown page on Facebook.